I've received a mystery care package from Autofinessee, so let's go and see what's in the box and use whatever's in there to clean the Tiguan. So as a sponsor of Autofinessee, they send us out care packages. Now, in this one, it's the first one of the year, so there's some exclusive goodies like Team AF stickers and some other bits and pieces that just a general consumer can't get. Now, I don't have a clue what's in this box. So we're going to see what we've got. We've got some spray heads. That's pretty standard. Aqua Coat, which is like a hydrophobic spray coating. Hopefully that don't fall off the bonnet. Stay there. We've got a bottle of Avalanche snow foam, which is good because I've just run out of that. Again, don't fall off the bonnet. Some crystal glass cleaner. That's definitely going to fall off the bonnet. We've got some citrus power, which is good because my car is absolutely filthy. Stay there. We've also got some Imperial wheel cleaner. Again, need some of that. That's definitely fallen off the bonnet. Lather shampoo, again, need some of that. Now, this is where it gets a bit cool. Work cloth, standard, aroma, barbershop. Like that one, that's cool. So, throwing everything all over the place. As an official Autofinessee sponsor, we do get a cool little sticker pack of some exclusive stickers, which are pretty cool. And we've got some Team AF stickers here, which we will put on the car. Finishing off with two nice smelling Sweet Shop air fresheners. So we've now got to try and wash the car, incorporating all of these products and not being funny. There's a good easy selection there, so we can get all of these used straight away without a problem. The sun's out, it's actually quite a nice day. The wind's bitter cold, but let's get this car washed and have a wash and talk with you guys. Now, with any detail, we always start with the wheels because the wheels are the closest thing to the ground and ultimately they are the dirtiest part of the car. So we're always going to start off with the wheels, give them a good rinse thoroughly, wheel face, barrel and the wheel arch to start with. Now for the perfect wheel cleaning mix, I've got a few products. Obviously Imperial come in our care package, but we're going to use a little bit of Revolution wheel soap, get that in the bucket. And then when we actually clean the wheels, we're going to use some Tread and some Imperial to actually help us do that. So I'm going to hit the wheel up with a bit of Imperial first. Let that do its thing. And then whilst that is doing that, I'm going to give the tyres a good coating of Tread, because you should always clean your tyres, get that rubbish off them, any of the old tyre dressing from the previous detail. Tread helps you do that massively, giving you a good clean basis for when you come to dress the tyres later on. And I have got a bit of dog poo on the tyre there, so I'll scrub that off. This is now going to be a stinky detail. And then put that straight into my accessories pot on the side. So, starting off with the back face of the wheels first, making sure to get in there with my wheel woolly. Now, you can spend as long or as little as you like on this, depends how anal you want to be. but I just like to give it a really quick zhishing over with the brush, making sure that the wheel is nice and clean behind there. Obviously, depending on the mood, depends on how long I spend doing this sort of stuff. So I just thought, whilst we clean the car, it's worth like having a bit of a chat. I don't know if many people on here have watched Matt Moorman, Obsessed Garage. He does these wash and talks, and they're actually, the idea of it sounds boring, like sitting and watching someone wash their car, but it's actually really interesting sometimes to see how people do wash their cars differently. And just, well, he's quite an interesting bloke, so he's probably quite interesting to listen to. I'm not as interesting, so you might get bored and switch off and start watching something a bit more exciting like Matt Armstrong on YouTube or something like that. I've got the dogs outside as well, so they're making a racket, but I just thought I'd make it a little bit more natural opposed to trying to make it a perfect movie creation, if you like. So just using this wheel mitt, we're gonna just keep washing the faces and getting the most of the dirt off. Now I have got a bit of warm water in the bucket because it is freezing and my hands are in pieces at the moment. Bit of exciting news recently. I actually am in the process of buying my first house, which is quite cool. The amount of times on the channel I've mentioned about my house deposit and selling my van for my house deposit and all the rest of it, it's actually finally happening, which is quite scary. I've got all this money in the bank, which is gonna disappear, and I've got to grow up, and that's the scariest part. I'm 26, going on about 15. I don't like growing up. So yeah, that's happening, really exciting, can't wait. I have got a garage as well, which is really cool. Probably the most exciting part for me actually is probably getting my own garage. Really excited about that. Again, may have to do a Matt Moorman style Obsessed Garage makeover, although I won't have a budget to support that to start with, but that would be something really cool if we could do that. But anyway, that's the first wheel done. I haven't done the brake calipers. In all honesty, I can't be bothered. So let's get this wheel rinsed off. People often ask me, why do I like Autofinessee so much? Like, why do they stand out compared to all the other brands on the market? Now, the thing with Autofinessee is, obviously, you're buying a detailing product, so you want to buy a product which it does the job that you want it to do, essentially, to start with, is the most important thing. Obviously, cost, you know, how expensive it is, how good it is, and all them sorts of things do come into it, obviously. Now, Autofinessee does tick all them boxes, and you know, it's pretty cost effective, it's really good, it does the job. You know, the products look cool in the bottles, they look cool. But one of the biggest things for me, obviously being a sponsor, is a little bit different in the sense that Team AF as a hashtag, which you see on Instagram, isn't just like, I don't know, a silly sales pitch or just a slogan-y type catch thing that they use on social media. Like, Autofinessee is a team, it's a family. James has got a heart of gold, he looks after everyone. You know, if you're associated with James or you've done anything with James in the past, whether you're an event organizer or a business or something like that, you will know how good James is and how it is a family, it is a team. As a sponsor, James goes above and beyond to look after us, and I just think that that whole ethos is brilliant. You know, you've got a person who's got a product who's come from the same as everyone else, you know, a detailer on their driveway to creating a detailing brand, you know, so he's relatable. And another thing as well is that you can go to a car show and you can see James. I'd hate to say the names on here because I'm giving them publicity, but you know, the likes of Autoglim and Maguire's and Mer and Dodo Juice, places like that. Can you go to a car show and see the CEO of them standing there next to an old Mark 1 Caddy that they've modified? You know, you don't see it. They're so caught up in making the money and being big corporate companies and all the rest of it, you don't see them. Whereas with Autofinessee, you can go to a car show and see James stood next to a 25-year-old car that he's put love and labour into building and passion, and it is just a shared hobby, shared interest, and I think that's the thing that makes people like Autofinessee so much, because it is such a relatable thing and quite inspiring to people, the fact that James has made the brand from, you know, being a detailer, starting off as a detailing brand, which has then developed to making his own product. Now, I don't know, all the other detailing companies may have started like that. I don't know how these things happen, but I think it is just quite a relatable, inspiring sort of story, really, to how Autofinessee as a brand has come about. But yeah, Autofinessee for me, I've been using it for, God knows, 10 years, 11 years. Started detailing, started cleaning cars when I was like 16. My dad had a BMW 530D Touring, and I used to clean that, and then used Autofinessee products from day one, really, and I can't fault it. Cannot fault it. It is just generally really good stuff, and now it's obviously in so many different countries. It just shows how well that the products are doing, really. So yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Doing a lot more on the Tiguan recently because we're having issues with the Brasilia. When that car's done, I think I'll probably have a full head of grey hair or no hair at all. But let's rinse this wheel off and then touch on the Brasilia around the other side. So for those of you who haven't been following along, I've got a 1979 Volkswagen Brasilia show car project, which is currently in the process of being restored at Surrey Auto Works. Now, we got into a little bit of bother with the amount of rust which we found on the front of it. So we came up with the idea that we were going to get a front end imported from Brazil, so we didn't have to spend as much time doing rust repair on mine. It was just going to be a straight cut and shut jobby. Save lots of money on labour and stuff like that fixing mine. But it didn't go to plan, let's just say that. So we had a guy who's sorting it all out for us. He did a really long road trip in Brazil, travelled to pick us up a body, got the body, took it back to his, all that was really good, paid him for that, which I think I'm not far off £1,000 into it at the moment. And then I inquired about having the whole car sent over. Now initially he got a bill. Now on the bill it had three different currencies in the total. Now he was under the illusion that we were having to pay the £843, which was in GBP at the bottom. But there was also a figure in euros and also a figure in Brazilian reals. Now, we didn't realise that I have to pay all three of those, which now means that the shipping is around £1,800, which now makes it not financially viable or affordable for me to actually use that as an option. So as it stands, I have a car which costs me about £1,000. Well, I say a car, a bare shell. I own a bare shell in a country thousands and thousands of miles away from home, which I now can't afford to get into the UK because it's just absolutely ridiculous to have that shipped across. On top of that, like I said, I'm buying my first house, so even having to pay the paint shop to do the job on it is stretching me. So I am in a bit of a pickle at the moment with regards to the Brasilia, and the reason why obviously there's been no content on it for quite a while is because this whole saga has been going on. Now, it's not ideal, and we will rise up from it and we will get a solution and come back, but it's just one of them things. We didn't expect it. It's a proper spanner in the works, but it's just one of them things. We'll get there. Car building is not easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's expensive. It's stressful. It's, yeah, I don't know why we do it. But in the meantime, I've been playing around with the Tiguan. Recently done some modifications, just put the new radio in, done a splitter on the front, which is for the wrong car, which I may have to get rid of because I think it's affecting my fuel consumption. So, yeah, it's all go at the moment, and it's very draining. As a brand, Autofinessee, we don't like talking about sponsorship too much. Not because we don't like promoting it, because obviously we've got over 100 sponsors. Well, or what's the word? Not worldwide. Probably, yeah, it is worldwide. Now, the thing with me and Autofinessee is I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Autofinessee. I wouldn't be doing these YouTube videos, so that's either a good or a bad thing, you decide. But the thing is, I wouldn't have all the debt I have, not debt because I'm not in debt, but I wouldn't have spent all the money that I've spent on cars if it wasn't for Autofinessee. So James, thanks for that. But without Autofinessee, I wouldn't be where I am. Oldub wouldn't be a thing. I wouldn't have the Brasilia. So I have a special place in my heart for Autofinessee because of the fact that I am where I am today for them. So obviously Autofinessee have a sponsorship program. Now, I really wanted to get sponsored. Call me stupid, but I actually bought the Brasilia in an attempt to get sponsored by Autofinessee. I bought it with the sole intention of getting noticed by James, getting noticed by the brand, and getting myself sponsored. I've never seen a Brasilia before. I saw Jake's from HR Auto Works. I saw he posted one, and I thought, that's a cool car. You never see any of them. I'm gonna buy one. I'm gonna get sponsored. And look where we are. 3 years later, we're sponsored, we've got a good relationship, we're doing stuff, and I'm now in a massive deficit of money because I'm spending it all on the Brasilia. So, bought the Brasilia to get noticed, got noticed, got sponsored by Autofinessee, and then the YouTube thing came about. So I was doing sponsorship like videos and such, so I was doing tutorials that I was going to put in the Facebook group. James let me take responsibility of the Facebook group and sort of like accept and decline people in and all that sort of stuff. So I was making tutorials for the Facebook group, but I was doing them and they were quite large files, so I couldn't actually upload it to the Facebook group. So I thought, why not put it on YouTube? So I uploaded it to YouTube, and then started making tutorials, doing all these videos, and then I decided to make other YouTube videos on other car stuff, which then sort of spiraled from there, and then I ended up obviously getting to the point where we are now, creating all sorts of different YouTube stuff, from doing the trading up series to buy a transporter, obviously the detailing series, started to do some car reviews. I dabbled a little bit doing the Brasilia to start with, but it never really took off. I didn't really do it too much. And then obviously Matt Armstrong became quite big and everyone was watching his videos and all that sort of stuff. And I did take a little bit of inspiration from his videos and stuff. And then tried to adopt a little bit of that on my own. And then went full force doing the Brasilia stuff, which has obviously been on hold recently because of the story of what I've just said. But not being funny, if someone said to me probably a year ago, would you quit your whole-time job as a, you know, earning a normal salary, doing normal stuff, and do YouTube full-time as a career, would you want to do that? I would probably say no, you're stupid. But now I enjoy doing this so much that I would love to get rid of my day job, and I would love to do this full-time, earning a living out of it, having freedom, playing my cars all day, enjoying myself, and just having a good time on a day-to-day basis, meeting you guys, living the life of Matt Armstrong, really. Being able to buy loads of classic VWs. I don't know about you guys, but I've found out about loads of VW models from Hula, who's buying our Brasilia for us in Brazil. Loads of Brazilian VW models that I never knew existed, and I want all of them. I want to ship them all to the UK, so I need to get YouTube famous so I can do that. Now that the wheels are clean, we need to move on to pre-wash. Now pre-wash is like one of the really important things, like when it comes to detailing and protecting your paint from like damage and stuff. Now I can't think of this as like an analogy on anything else, but if you've got a really heavily soiled car and you take your wash mitt straight into it and you're just dragging all that dirt round the bodywork, you're just going to cause scratches. So using a good pre-wash stage prior to contact washing is going to basically try and get the panel clean before you then wash it. So you want to clean the car before you physically touch it to save rubbing all that dirt and contamination around the paintwork, which is just going to cause scratches. And then when you whinge that you got swell marks, that's the reason why. So we're going to use the Citrus Power, which has been sent to us. Going to rinse the car off first to get off some of the worst, not getting too close with a pressure washer because you can scratch the paint by pushing the dirt into it. Give it a rinse off with a pressure washer, then rinse it off with some Citrus Power, let that soak, blast that off, and then we can get some snow foam mixed up, ready to foam it, get the buckets ready, and then get on with the contact wash. So we're just going to go around now and give a good spray of Citrus Power all over. Now, I would fully recommend getting yourself a 5-litre container of this and getting the pump sprayer, because you ain't even got to do anything. You pull the trigger and just let the bottle do all the work. Whereas this, you get a bit of trigger finger and then your finger wears out. So this is, like I say, this is the first part. We'll let this dwell, give it a good coating all over. Let this dwell, rinse it off. Don't worry too much about the sunshine. And then we'll come round with the snow foam and then use a detailing brush, feather tip detailing brush, and get in around all the trims and all the intricate areas, making sure we get rid of all the dirt on this, not leaving anything missed out. With the car rinsed off behind me, we're now going to use our Avalanche snow foam. This stuff is really good. Now, I would normally say to anyone, sort of put an inch in the bottom. Now, I like to go a little bit over the top. I do like a really thick foam. And I do normally buy this stuff in bulk, so I am a little bit over generous with it. So I'm gonna put a really, really generous amount of snow foam in the bottom. I can't actually see how much I'm putting in at the moment, so I'm just going off like gauge. That's probably a good amount for me. That's 200 mil. Fill that all up to the top, and then we're going to have ourselves a really thick snow foam, which is going to look really good. As you can see, this is a really thick foam, which is going to give us that maximum dwell time on the paint, giving us time to go around with a brush and get into all them intricate areas, getting all the dirt out, which otherwise would be missed because we aren't getting in there. Feather tip brush, we can go around all of like the little intricate areas. I should have foamed that open. Round the window rubbers, all the way around here, in the top here, on the roof bars. Just getting in all the little nooks and crannies where the wash mitts won't get. It's a good tip to start at the top and work your way down, but I'm just going to do all this side in one hit. So around the wing mirror, around the side repeater. This R trim on the door and the wing. Again, it is really good to start up high and work your way down, but I'm just going to be lazy and just do this side in one hit. Trims along there, and then we'll rinse this off prior to contact washing. We'll go around the whole car and do all that, but I'm just going to double away, get it done because the sun is beaming down on us. Top tip when washing your car, always use warm water because it's so much nicer on your hands. And another top tip is these Autofinessee buckets are really good. So I've always had the really tall buckets, you know, the ones that probably come up to like here, which are really good if you've got a dedicated wash like bucket filling area, but like Matt does in Obsessed Garage. But when you're filling them up in the utility room and you're going to get them in a standard kitchen sink, these are a perfect height for my tap anyway, to get it in the sink, to get a good easy filled bucket with warm water, which on days like this when it's so cold, it's going to save your hands. So top tip, get yourself a half height bucket from Autofinessee because they are a saviour. But anyhow, we're on to the next stage of washing, so we need to use some lather shampoo. This is going to be the rinse bucket. So once we get this filled, we've got a fresh wash mitt, brand new pretty much out of the packet, and we're going to use that to carry out our contact wash on the Tiguan. So again with this, I just chuck loads in a bucket. I am a little bit over the top, but I like a good sudsy wash mix, so I do go a little bit over the top of that. So we'll get the buckets filled up, head back outside and crack on with the contact wash. The next product we're going to use is a product called Aquaquote. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing it in the sunshine, but we're going to do it anyway because we're committed to the cause. So it's a hydrophobic rinse aid. Now my car hasn't got any protection on it because I am really lazy. As you can see, the water is just like sheeting off. A little bit of bleed on the windows, but the water's just sheeting off. Now this is a product for lazy people to get some protection on the paintwork. So what we have to do is rinse the panel to start with, get it nice and wet, turn on the bottle's little nozzle, and then spray it on, one panel at a time, and then rinse it off. As you can see straight away, look at the hydrophobicity, if that's a word, of this panel. The water's just beading straight off. And I'm now going to do it on all of the rest of the car, as this is going to help me dry the car and keep it protected at the same time. So, look at that, that's impressive, isn't it? That's going to help us dry the car, and you can probably see some of the swells in it actually from the sun. Using a bit of crystal, we're going to finish this puzzle, cleaning the glass with this glass cloth, lint 3, making it look absolutely crystal clear, giving us perfect vision out of these side windows. Just need to finish up the whole car, and then the Tiguan is looking absolutely mint thanks to these Autofinessee products. Tiguan is looking box fresh again. It's been cleaned, it's got some protection, and hopefully it will stay clean for more than 25 hours because the forecast is looking pretty decent for a change. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button down below. We may be bringing some more content out like this. If there's anything else you would like to know with regards to Autofinessee and products, drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you would like to see. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video where hopefully we have an update on the Brasilia. See you soon.